What's up, guys? Welcome back to TCG Scrubs. I'm Oscar, and I'll be doing the Q&A recap this time around. Colin was a little bit busy and couldn't get to it, so we'll go through this. Now, if you're wondering what this is exactly, it is on Twitch, FOW TCG Japan. Jeff will do a stream roughly once a month, helping answer some questions or deliver some news that may be important to us. So we're going to condense this 2-hour stream into about hopefully 10 minutes here or less. I'm going to go through my notes I did right here, so hopefully I don't repeat anything over and over again. So I'm going to read it off the list as we go through. Now, one of the more important things that was going to be discussed this go around was the Willpower Rewards program and how the cards are going to be handled. There is some, I think, confusion along the line, so we'll go ahead and get into that. So as of right now, only 5 different rulers with new artwork have been revealed. We've seen that. We'll see if I can throw it up on the screen. So as far as he understands right now, this is kind of the breakdown of how the rewards will be distributed based on your ranking. So VIPs will be getting 2 playsets of all the revealed alt art cards. So you'll get 2 of each of these 5 cards that have been revealed, plus a VIP reward. He also said something about how A rank will be getting 1 playset plus a VIP reward. I don't know VIP reward. I can't remember anymore. Was it a certain... I thought you hit VIP, but I could be wrong. He also said it breaks down from there to what you're expected to get. So B, C, D. I don't know what the numbers are, but you get like, what, 3, 2, 1 or something like that. Now, VIPs will also receive the December promos. So for those not familiar, the Willpower Reward app will be coming to a close. They'll calculate all the points up to the end of December, and that'll be a whole new system of rewards that will be delivered at a later time as well. So anybody who got VIP during this past season, you'll be getting those promos as well without having to do any additional scanning. Now, at the time of watching this, if you've done that scanning already, he says you'll be getting additional rewards on top of what you've already been promised at this point, which is a whole new set. So to go over that real quick, you're getting VIPs will be getting 2 of each ruler, plus a VIP reward, plus the December promos, plus whatever you end up scanning for the December promos as well. Now, as for what the December promos are, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be the other rulers. He did hint at going to the print company to see alternative printing styles. Maybe they can get something in plastic or different materials or even a different foiling process. He says nothing's guaranteed right now, but as the information comes in, he'll make sure to let us know. So it looks like Japan, half of their Willpower rewards were caster cards, but seeing as the company is no longer associated with Force of Will anymore, that's not how they're going to be handling that now. It's interesting because if you watch Colin's news, he had brought it up that it, I guess, was speculation that casters was separating. Jeff kind of confirmed it during the stream that they're no longer associated with each other. This next part is an apology from Jeff on miscommunication. So if you remember last season, top 8 was getting gold Ubers rather than acrylic cards, as well as whatever top 3 would receive. Fortunately, we're not going back to acrylics. It's going to remain those gold Uber cards for top 8 during a GP. While no photos have been provided, he did confirm that at WGBQ Minnesota, that was hosted by Games and Geek, they'll be getting the gold, silver, and bronze Brunhild. So he said, as of right now, because there's been requests during the whole stream of a reprint of starter decks, if there's more coming in, he says right now there is no reprint of starter decks. Now what this is due to is they did send all the order forms out to distributors, but distributors responded with that there's not enough demand for the actual starter decks to warrant them to reorder the starter decks again. Now he understands that that might not be the case and there's people everywhere asking them, but unfortunately there's just distributors who need, I guess, a higher fulfillment in order for them to want to request more starter decks from Force of Will. So just to make sure when you go to your LGS to actually request these starter decks, so they can actually request more from distributors, and it just is a chain reaction until they do a whole new set reprint. He's hoping that getting more access to these rulers, like with the Willpower Reward system, that you can get at least those rulers in hand easier. The reason why two sets are going to VIPs is hopefully they keep one and sell the other ones off and help get some more into the market. He did tell us that Arthur will be getting support this set. I know he mentioned a Master Rune and maybe some, just resonators and chants to help him out. While Loki won't be getting any love until the 3rd set, whatever that ends up being called. I just put V3 here. While Arthur is getting a Master Rune, not all the rulers will be getting Master Runes. Only 5 of them will be getting them this set. He was asked if there would be any updates to the ban list, but he said he would not comment on this. He refuses to respond to anything that may cause speculation, as it could affect the secondary market. but you can usually tell by watching top 8s or looking at top 8 lists, which you can check out on our website, tcgscrubs.com, as to what is usually going to be affected by a ban list, should there be any. But he did say the one thing he will say is that Lorai is a necessary evil right now. So any information on Ascension rulers. So those of you who aren't familiar, we did a couple years ago had an Ascension program. We got some older rulers, made them more up to date, gave them better abilities. So people really like that program. They want to see it again. So when asked about it, he says right now there's no plans on it. But even if they were to start, say now, with plans to go forward with something like this, until you even saw any results of anything coming out, would probably be about 9 to 10 months out. And that's just waiting on the artwork to be made. So as of right now, nothing. I would love to see it as well. As about any Wanderer GPs, the format for the GPs have not been set so far as he knows, but he would like to see at least one of those. Some of the smaller things he did mention was there's no true projected time period for the new app system to be coming out to replace the willpower reward system. But it seems that most likely it would be next season, if anything. He also was asked about his J-League tournament that he was wanting to run. I don't know if y'all remember that from about a few months ago. He has a set of promos, and he wants to run various events in different formats, including Epic Stories, which I thought was cool. He says if right now, if it happened, it would be after December. But he's also afraid that people will be burnt out with the current online tournament that's being held by Benjamin Margetzi. Which is coming to an end here soon. So he doesn't want people to be burned out by that and not really attend this next one. So we'll see when that happens. So hopefully in January he wants to have it. He also wants people to have the new cards available that come out in the new set. He did mention how the first set of New Valhalla, the New Dawn Rises, didn't really feature too many of the older Valhalla characters. But as we go on further, especially in this next set that's coming out soon, we'll see a lot of older characters actually returning, which we've already seen a couple. We saw Liz. So here's one I know Colin was always was actually just mentioning the other day. Will there be any Ubers in the new set? So as far as he knows, there will be no Ubers in the new set. From what he's been told, they moved to a new printer after Rhea Cluster. It has much better card stock and a better quality in the print, but unfortunately they can't make Uber cards. As I mentioned just a few seconds ago, he will be visiting the print center to see what they are capable of, and maybe we'll see some alternatives going forward. Something cool, kind of like the way the secret rares were in the last set. One little fun note he did mention was a Dark Alice doll, which was recently spoiled. In design, R&D actually didn't have a once per turn clause. That's something that he had to make sure to poke into there, so it wasn't actually a broken card coming out. For those of you who do attend Japan GPs, Jeff will be at the Osaka GP for anyone who's going to be there, and he'll have a V2 deck on him, so you can come by and challenge him. When asked for any word of there would be advertisement going forward, he did say he has been using some of the paid advertising. I'm assuming that's on Facebook to help get the Forcible brand out there. Germany as well will have a commercial. Not sure what kind of commercial that is, if it's online or television, or to what effect that commercial means. Hopefully we will have some sort of events, posters and stuff, and other neat things that come out. He understands there really hasn't been a great deal of advertisement in the past, but he has reached out to some of the content creators to do some, say, box openings. He said one in particular is new, and he said the only thing he would hint at is tacos, which, those not familiar, points towards Alpha Investments, it seems like, which Alpha's been doing some special sales. Rudy, I should say. Rudy's been doing some special sales of older sets and older like dual decks and decks on his Patreon. So I think it's actually pretty awesome that we'll be seeing him opening some Force of Will stuff on his channel. Somebody did mention if the Willpower Rewards were sent out yet. Probably should have bumped this up a bit when I mentioned it earlier, but he says he's not sure. He knows that they've been printed, so that's cool for anybody looking for reassurance if the promos have been printed or not. But they're printed in another city, so he's not actually sure if they've started shipping them out yet. On a note of the lore, for those of you who are really into the story of the game, you might have a Christmas present coming soon. He's not sure, but possibility. Will we be getting any new teaching decks? We might be getting some new ones, but it's just going to be updated versions of Pan and Hook that do not include Divinity, which Divinity is a pretty big deal right now for anybody coming into the game to help better learn it. For those of you who want to see something like that, we did do a video on how runes work. You can go check that out. Any new Vingolf in the works? I know that's something that everybody loves, especially after Vingolf 3 did so well. He's trying to get us a new Vingolf, but nothing yet. But we could be near a tipping point that would warrant a new Vingolf set. We'll just see. He said EG may have been talking about it recently and seemed kind of excited about it, so maybe something will be announced at some point. Again, no historical support. I know some of you want that. If you remember the 5th starter deck that was released later in the year this last season, it was a historical based deck. But he does have notes on things that could use some love. Historicals are on there, as well as were rabbits, fairies, golems, 6 ages, to name a few. Somebody asked if there would be Olympic-themed cards for Tokyo 2020. Doesn't think they're going to be doing that, but said it's actually a really interesting idea. I did ask if the ARG stone that was revealed was officially printed by Force of Will. He said it was. It was a big thanks to ARG for everything they've been doing for Force of Will. From all their tournaments, ARG states, and different forms of support. It's something they've been wanting to do for a while, and they finally were able to get it done. For those of you who haven't seen it, I'll show you right here at the end because it is part of the GP support for the tournament happening this weekend in Orlando. It's a special stone. And that's about all there really was. Nothing too crazy. The big part was the willpower reward system, which we went over. We're going to jump into the prize cards for GPs that were revealed during the stream. So for starters, like the stone I was talking about, the special magic stone. This is a special stone that was printed for ARGs, why you see ARGCircuitSeries.com printed on it. ARG is the one running the WGPQ this weekend in Orlando. So this will be a stone that they are handing out during this event. I don't know what the actual number of printed stones are, or how else further stones will be handed out. Maybe other, supported tournaments that ARG holds throughout the season, they'll be handing these stones out. We'll see. We'll wait for Jim to confirm something like that. But Magic Stone of Dueling. So this is the stone that works with Isis. It's actually a really cool artwork. Sorry, I got a lot of artwork on my desk. I'm trying to figure out which ones are which. Okay, so one of the first ones we'll go to is Lightning Cave. A promo of Lightning Cave was printed. This will be entry to GPs this season. He didn't specify what this one was for, if it was entry or not. I'm going to assume it was, but Glint of Insight. Usually each season there's going to be 2 possible entry promos as well as 2 possible top 8/16 promos. And GPs will be assigned certain cards. So you can go to a tournament where the entry promo is a Glint of Insight, but not the Lightning Cave, or you can go to one that has Lightning Cave, but not Glint of Insight. Unfortunately, with the 2 events we went to last season had Soul and not Red Riding Hood, which is a card I really wanted to get. For those who do make top 8, top 16 is based on attendance. If there's like a great attendance, it'd be everybody in top 16 would get these instead. But those are going to be Blazer, the Legendary Thief, as well as Lorite, which that was interesting. I know I joked around the podcast that the next promo printed, whether it's Lorite or the Distortion of Time, if either one gets printed as a promo, $10 says it'll get banned. And lastly is we do have the Judge promo. Every season we get one of these. It's usually in chibi form. This year will be Hanzo. He did say it's a gender-bent Hanzo, so it's a little cute kitty. And you flip it over to this girl. I like it. Bit of a simplified background, reminds me of caster cards, but it's pretty cool. And that's really all I have for you today, so hopefully I landed under the 10-minute mark. If not, my bad. If you guys want to check out the stream again, make sure to look at Twitch. I'm sure they'll have it on the main channel. But if you're going to Twitch right now, FOW TCG Japan. And we'll see you next time. Also, make sure to look out for results on the WGBQ happening this weekend. There will not be a live stream that we know of, at least. ARG hasn't said they'll be running one, at least. And I know Jeremy won't be there. But make sure to check out our podcast. If we get the results before we record, we'll go over it. And if not, maybe Jeremy will have them because he does his live podcast Monday nights. So check out Ruler School as well. And we'll see you next time. Bye.